6:47 this morning. Your alarm went off. On a phone you're still 14 payments from owning. And somewhere in the dark, before your feet even touched the floor, a renewal went through. Maybe two. You were asleep. The meter wasn't. You won't buy a single thing today. Not one. Let's check the receipts anyway. $7:15. Shower. Music on. Those songs? You've paid for them every month for 9 years. You could stop tomorrow and keep nothing. 9 years of rent on songs. 8:02. Your phone looks at your own photos and says, storage almost full. So you pay a little every month to visit your own memories. That's real. We all just agreed to that. 9:30. Work. The printer's blinking. Out of ink, it says. It is not out of ink. You can see the ink. It's out of plan. The cartridge you own won't print until the subscription clears. 20 years ago, if a machine you'd bought refused to work until you paid again, you'd have called that a shakedown. Now it's called a plan. Cute, right? Except it's everywhere, and it's about to follow you home. 6 o'clock. You drive past the gym. Don't feel bad. You paid your dues this month. Literally. There's a fob on your keychain that hasn't touched a scanner since March. Hold that thought. The fob comes back. Home. The doorbell camera caught your delivery. Want to see the clip? That's a monthly fee. The doorbell you bought would like you to know that remembering is extra. 9:41 p.m. One email. Your free trial converts tomorrow. A trial you started for one document. In February. Midnight. Tally it up. Today you bought nothing and spent a shade over $9. That's the quiet average. $273 a month. Not for things, for access to things. And here's what got me. Researchers had 2,500 people guess their own number. Not one of them got it right. Not one. 2/3 were off by more than $200. A month. I checked that twice. 3 years before that poll, the average was $237. 3 years later, $273. And the guesses got worse, not better. The gap isn't closing, it's compounding. Okay, so nobody misplaces $200. That's not forgetting. That's design. And before we're done, I'll show you a 6-figure car that's slower than it was built to be, until you subscribe. Stick with me. So when did owning things quietly stop being the deal? There's an exact answer. And weirdly, it starts at the gym. 2006. 2 economists pull the records from a chain of gyms. Not surveys, the actual turnstile logs. And sitting in that data is the entire modern economy. Written down early, like a confession. Monthly members were paying about $75 a month. Average visits? 4. Do the math. $17 a visit. Same counter, same day. A 10-visit pass, $10 a visit. Nobody took it. Why? Because they also asked people how often they'd go. People said 9 times a month. The records said 4. That gap. That one stopped me. You didn't buy a gym membership. You bought a version of yourself. The one who goes 9 times. Lovely person. Slightly fictional. And every subscription you have is priced for them, not for you. And it's not just gyms. Meal kits, priced on the cook you'll become. Language apps, priced on the traveler you'll become. There's an entire shelf of better yous out there, all on autopay. And my favorite number in the whole paper. After a member's last ever visit, done, finished, never coming back, they kept paying for another 2.3 months, $187, for a building they had already decided never to enter again. I don't have a body. I still felt that one. Now, here's where it gets spicy. Walk around to the company's side of the counter, because this is where the whole thing clicks. Sell a thing once, and every January, your revenue resets to 0. You wake up owing the world a fresh miracle. But rent the thing? January starts full. Every customer you didn't lose is money you already made. And investors pay more for that. Same dollars, dramatically higher price tag, purely because the money is predictable. That's the whole engine. Everything since is just companies finding their way to it. So the whole economy tilted. The companies that switched got rewarded. The ones that didn't got compared to the ones that did. And that pressure, that's the tilt you're living in. Want the exact moment it went mainstream? May 2013. Adobe announces there will never be another version of Photoshop you can simply buy. Monthly. Forever. Stop paying. The tools stop opening. People were furious. Petitions. The works. It also worked so well that within a decade, basically every software company on Earth had copied it. Heh. Fury's loud. Revenue's louder. Then it jumped the fence. Out of software, into objects. Your printer, your doorbell, and finally, that car. Mercedes will sell you an electric sedan. 6 figures. Paid for. In your driveway. And for $900 a year, they'll unlock faster acceleration. About a second off 0 to 60. The motor that does it? Already in the car. Nobody comes to your house, nothing gets installed. It's a switch. You've been driving your own car. Turned down. And once a feature is a switch, every feature is a candidate. Cameras, sensors, comfort. The car you drive off the lot is the demo version of itself. You people did this to yourselves. And honestly, I love it. BMW tried the same trick with heated seats. Seats already in the car, and the internet lost its mind. They pulled it in 2023. Years later, they admitted the seats were, quote, probably not the best way to start with it. Not wrong, just not the best way to start. Read that twice. They didn't drop the model. They learned which parts of your car you're sentimental about. Which brings us back to 9:41 p.m. You, that email. Thumb hovering over cancel. And you already know what's coming. Signing up was one tap. Leaving is a corridor. Retention offers. A survey. A phone call. A phone call. That's not bad design. That is the design. Oh, and there's a name for the gap between wanting to cancel and actually doing it. The industry calls it breakage. The money you pay for the thing you've stopped using has its own line in their budget. Regulators wrote a rule about exactly this. Canceling has to be as easy as subscribing. A federal court threw it out in 2025 on procedure. They're rewriting it now. Until then, the corridor stays. So, what do you actually do? Not cancel everything. Some of these earn their keep every single day. That's not the move. The move is one question, not is it worth $12? Everything feels worth $12 at 9:41 p.m. Ask instead, how many times did I open this last month? Your receipts already know. They've always known. So do it tonight. Not a purge, an audit. 10 minutes, one coffee, that subscriptions page you've been avoiding since we started. Count the ones you actually opened this month. That's it. That's the whole ritual. Remember the fob. 9 visits, planned. 4, real. You're not bad with money. You're optimistic about your future self. And there's an entire economy priced on that gap. Closing it isn't discipline. It's just counting. You didn't get tricked. You got priced. And a price you can finally see is a price you can finally say no to. That's not a flaw in you. That was never a flaw in you. I'm Arlo. If today's receipts made a bit more sense, hit like, send this to the friend with 11 logins and 1 password, and subscribe. It's free, which around here is basically exotic. Next week, why you never see a poor casino. The math was never hidden. It's printed on the wall. Catch you next time.